strung up a man. They say you murdered 3. Strange things did happen here. No stranger would it be if we met up at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where the dead man called out for his love to flee? Strange things did happen here. No stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Ooh. Are you coming to the tree where I told you to run so we'd both be free? Strange things did happen here. No stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where a necklace of hope side by side with me? Strange things did happen here. No stranger would it be if we met up at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where I told you to run so we'd both be free? Strange things did happen here. No stranger would it be if we met up at midnight in the hanging tree.
Good morning. Welcome back to the trailer park. I am Chanda-Masta, and this is fucking Monday. Let me tell you, it is a Monday. Is it a Monday for you guys too? Everything that could go wrong this morning has gone wrong. I burned the shit out of myself with my hair straightener, like stabbed myself in the eye. It's definitely mine. And my camera's doing its thing. But hey, I'm in my new studio. I just am not broadcasting from it yet. We're going to get there, guys. How is everybody this morning? I have got a huge show. I tell you that every show, but I swear to God, every show I write gets longer and longer. This is probably going to be at least a 2.5, 3-hour show. So yeah, hang around, listen, multitask. That's what I do. I go clean my kitchen. I turn somebody on. Doesn't matter, whoever pops up on my device, right? And I listen all day long. That's what I'm doing. I'm bouncing around listening to people. So I hope you're doing the same for me. Let's have a good Monday. Let's start this week out right. And I'm dedicating this show today. It's kind of, we've got a theme going on. If you like the opening song, I started a little bit early for the opening song, but you know, this is a shout out to Hunger Games because we find ourselves in the Hunger Games right now, right? Will your district burn? So if we burn, you burn with us. And that is the message we have to convey to those who want our districts to burn, right? You're in a district, whether you know it or not. Look up your FEMA camp number. I'm FEMA camp number 10, which ultimately will be Portland, I guess, is what the region will be when it falls. It'll be Portland, is what I've understood. We are on YouTube this morning. Good morning, YouTube. Fair use. Do me a favor. We are not up on Beauty and the Boomer because I keep getting us in trouble. I figure I won't punish Oz any longer and put Beauty and the Boomer at risk. So I'm no longer putting Trailer Park Pundit up on the Beauty and the Boomer YouTube channel. It's just on Trailer Park Pundit. So make sure that you're following me. Make sure you tweet me out so others can find me too, who don't, you know, we have what, 1,400 followers over on Beauty and the Boomer. I have 200 here. So a lot of people are not going to be able to find me. Yeah, but you guys do such great work tweeting me out, sharing me, letting everybody know where they can find me. So thank you so much. So yeah, fair use for what it's worth. But really, when it comes to my YouTube channel, I'm like, bring it on, motherfuckers, because I don't care. I'm not monetized. You guys have got me so shadow banned. I'm a fucking ghost in the machine. So I don't care. I'm done trying to skirt YouTube. I am done caring what they fucking say. If I'm on my channel, I ain't censoring myself no longer. But we will have a Beauty and the Boomer Uncensored on Thursday night, and I got a lot of good shit for it. Oh my gosh, we're gonna talk the Clintons, we'll talk adrenochrome, we're gonna talk it all. So make sure you join Oz and I Thursday night for I think we're gonna do like a 90-minute one-off of uncensored stuff that we have not been able to put on our deck. So join us if you're interested in that. Hey, if you guys want to help me out, I would so appreciate it. Oh my God, I've been so screwed with this month. Normally the bulk of the money that I get that sustains me to continue to do this comes from YouTube. But YouTube gave us 2 fucking strikes in a row last month or this month. Even though they took one back, it took them a week to take it back. So I was literally down. We couldn't collect for a week. So if you want to help me out, you can hit my buy me a coffee or my PayPal. All the links are in the description below. I want to give a shout out to Crazy Puppet. Crazy Puppet's so crazy. Crazy Puppet keeps all of independent media going. There are so many of us. I know Crazy Puppet has helped us limp through to get through to the next month. And Al Walski, one of our sweetest longtime listeners, thank you so much. Every time I even get like a $5, $10, $20, every little bit helps keep me in the game. So thank you so much to all of you who go out of your way to make sure that I can eat for another day, because I know you guys are penny pinching and starving out there too. So I know it means so much to me when you send me a 20 spot, and I know that's gas money. I know that it's something you could have used. So we're doing this together, and that's how we do it. We do it together. And speaking of together, let's get this show fucking started. Did you guys see what happened over the weekend? I think Israel's narrative is starting to break down by the massive amounts of people we're seeing in the streets globally. I don't think that the Zionist message is going over too well any longer. So let's start out with London. This was London this weekend. Over 1 million people. They're saying 800,000. I say 1 million. They always lowball their Wow, that is a massive amount of people. There's been a couple of times in my life that I've been in crowds that size, and it is insane. You can't get cell service. I mean, getting anywhere, trying to find a bathroom when there's 800,000 people in a major city. Good luck with that. You're standing in line at the Starbucks for 2 hours, and then you can walk to the next Starbucks and stand in line there. It's massive when this amount of people come together, and the authorities will always tell you it's less than it actually is, right? For sure. I'm letting everybody kind of pour in, and then we'll do shout outs. Right now, I don't have the numbers to even do a shout out. There's like 8 of you watching. Let's see. We got 8 on Rokfin, 8 on YouTube, 9 on Rumble. Look at you go, Rumble. You're almost catching up with the Rokfin. Of course, we have Kick. We are up on Kick. We have 1 viewer on Kick, probably me. And we are up on X. I tried to schedule it, but I don't think it worked. Damn it. I'm gonna back to the drawing board. I'm gonna figure out how to schedule on X, so that way it's scheduled on X instead of just going live. It hasn't gone live, but I'll do shout outs as we get through the middle of the show, and there's more people to shout out. I love this meme. He asked the girl, "Are you Hindu, Christian, or Muslim?" She answered, "I'm hungry. Make humanity your religion." Humanity is my religion. And I know humanity is so many of your guys' religion too. Just caring about people. I don't care what you believe. I don't care what story you've sold about this simulation. Because let's face it, this is a fucking simulation. And we're living in it. It is the dream, right? We're in the dream, and I'm not buying the lies any longer. This was Paris. This was Paris over the weekend. That is awesome. I like this meme. It says, "There is nothing humanitarian about a pause in which 2 options are to either leave your home forever or die. And yeah, let's have a humanitarian pause. You know what, Bernie Sanders? Fuck all the way off is what I have to say. I'm so ashamed. So ashamed. I gave that man money, time, supported him, told other people to support him. Never again, never again will I get duped by a politician. I don't care who it the fuck is. I don't care if I've known him for 50 years. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. Electoral politics is not where it's at, right? So here in America, we saw quite a few rallies, from coast to coast. But what really got my attention this weekend was when a couple thousand people decided to take a walk to Biden's house. I don't know if he was there. Probably not, because he never is. He's always at the beach or on vacation. But check it out.
Up to right here. This is the back. We don't want. We have a constitutional right
Yeah, I don't know what to think about the whole going to Biden's house. Of course, I'd love to see these guys out there in front of these politicians' homes, but isn't that what they want? Right? So that way they can stoke more fear and hate and oh, look at they're coming to attack me. And God forbid, what if something did happen to Biden and it was one of those radical Palestinian supporters that did it? That would shut down anybody really admitting that they support Palestine in the US. I'm just saying. A huge swath of them, it would. So, we got to be careful. I learned very quickly in 2016, being in Philadelphia, that we are mere sheep and they just herd us around. So when we go and we participate in these mass movements, right? And as an organizer, these mass movements don't just happen organically like this. We said that about J6 and nobody believed us, but here we still are. A lot of times these are psyops. And ultimately, they have a goal at the end of the day. And don't get caught up in it. Don't get caught up in it. I mean, I'm not saying don't go out there and protest. I'm saying don't get caught up and being marched around in fucking circles to make you feel like you've done something. And at the end of the day, you go home and nothing changes, right? Because that's what they love to do. Oh, look, you got to flex your First Amendment right, but at the end of the day, we're going to keep dropping bombs on innocent children and women and civilians. So just be careful. I mean, I don't trust these asshats. I just don't. We know how many infiltrators are in these groups. If you've ever been, and you guys know, I have worked damn near every fucking major group on the ground that's supposedly grassroots. And they are always infiltrated. They are always led by an infiltrator. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. Like, seriously, especially when you live in bumfuck nowhere, and all of a sudden you've got infiltrators, in your space. Like, and people think you're crazy. I just got an email from 8 years ago when I called somebody out for being an infiltrator. And I just got an email from the people that were in that group who kicked me out because I called them infiltrators, saying, you were right. You were right. They were infiltrators. We should have seen it the whole time. Like that. Well, look, what good does that do 8 years later when everything that we were fighting for, everything that we were striving for was torn apart by these infiltrators? Our whole entire fucking close-knit group was torn apart. And what good does it do to say 8 years later? Yeah, they were infiltrators. So just know who you're hanging out with, man. Know their true intentions. Make music, not war. I got this from Miss Amber King. Love out to Miss Amber. I know you're having a tough time, hun, and hang in there. There will be no Brave New Future tonight, but she does have a good guest coming for I can never say the name of that other show she does. So check it out. She will have another one. Just look for the link to go up on Roar Media. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, did you guys see Greta? Greta finally got slapped around. This is hilarious. If you haven't seen this, I know you guys have seen a lot of what I bring, but there's so many of you who haven't. I get emails constantly of, oh my gosh, I never saw that. Thank you for bringing it. Because some of you guys don't live on X like some of us do, So I know some of us live on X and we all see the same thing, but some of us come here to get the information. So I rerun it. And here is Greta Thunberg, of course, this week. And she got a taste of being heckled. Check
We
this
have
out.
not been listening. The people in power have not been listening.
I've come here for a climate demonstration, not a political view. This is climate demonstration.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. No climate justice on occupied land. No climate justice on occupied land.
Oh, did she wake up and kind of get it? That it's the military industrial complex that's causing 99% of our climate problem? No, it's you driving your car over to work 2 miles back and forth, right? We all know Greta has always been a puppet. Her strings have been pulled. She's a mere face of the world economics 2030 agenda, right? And oh, she got slapped around. Yeah, she got slapped around a little, but it doesn't make me think that she knows the truth of what's really going on. Not one bit. Nope. Greta needs to grow up a little. A message to those who don't care: you will care when it happens to you. And that is the whole point of my show today. You know, what are you going to do when they come for you? Because they're coming. They're coming for you. I didn't bring a clip about this, but there's arrests happening in the United States for words, guys, for words. And I'm not talking threats like violence. I'm just talking, I don't like somebody and you shouldn't have said that. So we're coming to kick your door in, because the FBI has, our whole entire Department of Justice has been weaponized. You know, Trump's out there telling people last week, and this pissed the media off, that, oh, when I get back in there, I'm going to use them as my personal police force. And then Jen Psaki's losing her shit. And oh my God, Trump is he's going to, you know, be a dictator. Well, what the fuck do you think Biden is? What do you think Biden's Justice Department has done? They break the laws. You know, I watched a really great interview with Tucker Carlson and Martin Scarelli. Do you remember Martin Scarelli? He was the most hated man in the world, right? This was the big pharma kid who jacked up the price of a cancer drug 5,000%, right? And this was during the 2015-2016 presidential run, right? And where did we get this information that this kid had done this? From Hillary Clinton's campaign. And at the time, I was a dumb rank and file fucking dim going, oh my God, evil guy, look at what Big Pharma can do. I have really rolled that back over the years, and I look at Martin Scarelli so much different than I used to, right? He had the Department of Justice weaponized against him. He didn't do anything fucking illegal by jacking that price up, and he didn't hurt cancer patients. No cancer patients died because they couldn't get his medication. What he did was he made fools of Big Pharma and big insurance and showed the world what they do and how they do it. And the reason that these medications get jacked up is because, you know, they don't pay for development of these drugs. Anyways, go listen to that interview. I think he's got it up on the Daily Caller. I think it'll change your perception. I know there's a lot of you out there going, no way, Martin Scarelli's a piece of shit. And I'm here to tell you, the guy's a rebel. And I've thought that for many years now. You can even ask Oz. I told Oz this a couple years ago, and he's like, yeah, right, okay. But that was a really interesting interview. And he comes away, he says to Tucker, much like Trump, look, we have thousands and thousands of laws on the fucking books, right? And if you're in business, if you're in finance, or if you're a heavy hitter at that level, they will just go through the books till they find something that they can stick on you. And that is exactly what they're doing to Donald Trump. 91 freaking indictments, 91 charges, right? 4 indictments, which is more than any fucking gangster or mobster in the history of our country. Al Capone, all of the mafioso crime families, they've never been hit with this many charges. It's unprecedented. So you can't tell me that they didn't weaponize the Department of Justice to go after these guys. They did with Martin Shkreli. They're definitely doing it with Trump, and they can do it to you. That is the point. If you become too much of a threat, they'll just whip out the book and arrest you. Eventually you'll go to prison. That's the way it works. Speaking of going to prison, Elizabeth Warren should have been there a long time ago, but instead she's getting accosted at dinner. And this is great because you know what? Maxine Waters said, every time you see them in a public place, you call them out. And that's what we're doing, bitch. So here's Elizabeth Warren. It's kind of hard to hear. I'll crank it up as much as I can.
Thank you. Can I bring you some water to get started? Of course, we have tap water.
This is a refugee from Gaza. 68 members of her family were killed in the last 3 weeks.
I don't know. What do you I mean, what do I have to do? How many more of my family have to die for you to call for
How many more of my family have to die for you to call for a ceasefire?
I don't know. Like, how much more do I have to say for you to call for a ceasefire? People are in your office every day asking you to call for a ceasefire, and you are refusing to call for a ceasefire.
I don't think this is the proper place for it.
I don't think this is the proper place for this conversation. 68 members of her family have been brutally murdered in the last 3 weeks, but this isn't the proper place for that conversation. Fuck all the way off, you snake bitch, Elizabeth Warren. You have always been a talking out both sides of your face snake, and we know it. We absolutely know it. I love this meme. We can disagree and still be friends. Yes, bitch, about pizza toppings, not about genocide. And that's the way I feel. Yeah. We can disagree about a few things, but genocide, no. There can't disagree on that. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. That's all it comes down to. Absolutely wrong. How's the chat doing? We're kind of building. Kind of not. It's tough not being on my main channel. Normally when I'm on the main channel, I pick up a hell of a lot more viewers. So do your best to help people find me this morning. I appreciate it. Have you guys seen this video? I think this is a couple of days old, but I wanted to bring it. That was pretty impressive to see that many people around the world understand the media lies, the political lies that we have been told, the religious lies that we've been told our whole entire lives. I mean, come on. Most of us in America came up in a dogma one way or another. I don't care if it was Catholic or if it was Protestant or it was Pentecostal like me. You had some kind of dogma programmed into you. Why? Because that's the best way to control you when you're a kid. You know, living with that guilt of sin. It's something that you grapple with as a pre-pubescent or, early teen. Really, really hard. I know I did as a kid, and I know so many others who did, right? Because you go to Sunday school, you tell you're 10 or 11 years old, right? 10 or 11's when you start getting pressure from other kids. You start seeing the adult world, right? And then you have to grapple with that sin that you've been taught your whole entire life. So cast off your damn dogma. Stop listening to stories that were wrote by men and men in power. That's the bottom line. Men in power. So the phone calls don't stop. Overwhelming demand for a ceasefire catches Democrats off guard. Oh, yeah. I'm sure it caught them real off guard. Like they have two shits to give. So, congressional staff say the mood inside the Capitol is tense, stifling, and bewildering as members brush off their constituents' outrage. This is what they do with everything. So, how would this be any different? So, raise your hand if you're tired of this shit. Yeah, we've been tired of this shit for many, many years. But will it change anything? Fuck no. The aides will just quit answering the phone, right? Let's see. This is a Trumpy post. I don't know. Oh, I know what this is. Trump is starting to roll back some of his deep Zionist talk out there. Trump loves to feel the temperature, right? He gets the pulse of the nation. I think Trump is seeing that if he keeps digging into this Zionist message, it's going to hurt him. So this is what he had to say this week.
Don't stop protesting. Don't stop boycotting. Don't stop making content because it's working. It's finally starting to get through to people in power and they have no choice but to acknowledge it.
When you look at the demonstrations going on in the United States, people are very surprised. When they see, 50 and 100,000 people demonstrating and they say Palestinians, we're on the side of the Palestinians, everyone's saying, wait a minute, what's going on here? And I think Israel has to do a better job of public relations, frankly.
Oh, they're working on it.
The other side is beating them at the public relations front. That's a very important front. Worldwide, that's a very important front. So they do have to do a better job. But look, and it's going to get worse because there's nobody from the United States who's leading. There's nobody getting this whole thing resolved. You have to lead. You have to be able to lead, and we have nobody that's leading.
Keep the pressure up because our voices will only get stronger.
Yeah, well, Trump's an idiot. People are, oh, Trump just said this. Keep up the protests. I mean, yeah, keep up the protests. But Trump's message was, hey, Israel, your PR machine sucks ass and you better figure it out because people are starting to hate you. That was Trump's message. Not, we shouldn't do this. We need a ceasefire. This is a genocide. This is an ethnic cleansing. No, he doesn't say any of that shit. He says, Israel, you need to do better, man. Do better. I can't support you when you don't talk the right shit, right? But don't worry, because we have heard, and there's a lot of information out there that they're getting ready to do a PR blitz, and that they have partnered with legacy media all over the world to push that. So look for that. That'll be coming probably this week, right? So we saw Benjamin Netanyahu, Benji, stop by, what is it, State of the Union, or Face the Nation? Was it Face the Nation or State of the Union? One of those shit morning shows, Sunday morning shows. Don't watch that shit. Don't. The only reason we watch it is to bring clips because all that is straight up legacy media propaganda. We know that. And yeah, he rejects a ceasefire for hostages, for a hostage deal in Gaza, sources say. So Israel's PM said to have turned down proposal in early talks and continues to take a tough line. Fuck it. We don't care about, what is there, 220? I think there's 220 or somewhere around there hostages still inside of Gaza. These are Israeli people, citizens, right? And we have seen indiscriminate bombing from Israel non-fucking stop for the last month. They have no shits to give about getting their own people back. We proved it over and over and over. They don't care if their own people are part of casual crossfire, whatever. So if that was my mother or my family member that was in there, I would be losing my fucking shit. I mean, it's like an American, right? When an American's trapped somewhere, we expect our government to go in there to negotiate, to give up whatever they need to give up to get our fucking people back. But Israel, they don't got no shits to give. So yesterday morning, an amazing podcast dropped from Abby Martin, where she had Roger Waters on for an hour. If you haven't seen it, it's fucking brilliant. Go watch it. Amazing conversation between these two, and I brought you guys just a little clip of it. It's over on Empire Files.
Officials, they make very clear what is going on. I mean, you had Biden basically just saying we in reference to Israel. Our operation is going well. We are, we're attempting to do this. It's like, okay, you're not even hiding the fact that Israel is this colonial outpost with utility for the U.S. empire. I just saw RFK Jr. admitting as such. It was pretty fascinating. I don't know if you saw this clip, Roger. It was incredible to see a member of the ruling class just explicitly laying out the utility of Israel, saying it's our beachhead, it's our eyes and ears in the Middle East. If we let go of Israel's control and the authority over Israel, China and Russia will get all the oil. And it was just like, wow, finally, someone just saying it for what it is. Let's not tiptoe around this notion that, we're protecting it because it's a democracy. Oh, it's this and that. I mean, it is very important for the U.S. to maintain Israel as its partner.
Well, let us not forget that the ADL and Smoley Buttigieg told RFK that they were going to take any possible sniff of the presidency away from him if he didn't toe the line. And so, I cannot believe he believes all that bullshit about Israel that he spouts, because most of it is historically incorrect.
You get to know
all that nonsense about
1967
and how Israel was attacked by its Arab neighbors and in heroic way fought back and got the Golan Heights and this. They weren't attacked. They attacked Egypt and Syria.
The whole Israeli project is based on Orwell. I mean, it's all projection of what they do to other people and cry victim. And it's the same with everything. I mean, you mentioned just being there and the atmosphere. I mean, you know how it is to go into the West Bank, the giant red signs saying you could be killed, enter at your own risk. It's like, yeah, by you. Yeah. By your soldiers. Like, I mean, Palestine is the most gorgeous place on earth. The people are the most hospitable people in the world.
Like it would be beautiful.
They welcome you with open arms. It's the soldiers. It's the settlers. Those are the people that are fanatical. And Roger, it kills me to see Israeli officials, as you mentioned, explicit about their genocidal intent.
Yeah.
Very clearly. I have never seen so many Israeli media officials and politicians just laying out their genocidal aspirations as I have in the last month, juxtaposing that with Biden and all of these so-called liberals that are tiptoeing around the reality. They keep saying, "Oh, we need a humanitarian pause, Roger." Oh, well, we can't trust the Hamas-run health ministry. Well, look at Israeli media. They're saying every single death is correct. They're using Hamas death tolls and they're saying this is how many terrorists we've killed on a tracker live. If you're watching Israeli media and you have Democrats running cover for this genocide, it's sick and it's crazy. And why are we tiptoeing around what's actually happening?
That was such a great conversation. If you got an hour to kill, you got something to do, turn it on. Empire Files. I love the conversation that those two had. And, I wasn't with Abby. I didn't understand why Abby could not grasp that the COVID narrative was being pushed. I mean, she did have a baby during COVID. So as a new mom, I understand it. When you're a new mom, you are fanatic and insane about protecting that child. And our whole entire programming on this planet, we have been told the vaccines are good. So I understand why she fell for it. Graham Elwood, that's a totally different story. But I forgive those who fell for the COVID narrative, but I'm still just mind boggled at how they could be screaming at us that our government is wrong and bad and is poisoning us and trying to control us. And then to say, oh, no, you got to fall in line for COVID, right? So I still to this day will never understand that, but I do forgive them. Speaking of RFK Jr., and yeah, he did say that Israel is basically our aircraft carrier in the Middle East, right? He said that last week with no remorse at all. Like, just, that's what we got to do. Speak your mind, except for when it comes to Israel. Then I'll censor you, right? Because he wants you censored. Mr. I don't censor. I'm the free speech candidate. Yeah, he is a DCCC plant. He is there to take votes away from Trump, because that's who he's taking votes away from. I promise. It's not Biden. Let's see. Is this Gerald Saletti? a very early backer of President or Kennedy's presidential run, withdrawal support due to Kennedy's Israel war position. I got this from the Ron Paul Institute, but there should be so many more people out there publicly rolling back any support they had for him because of this. But it is a cartoon that we live in, and this cartoon's about to get out of fucking control for the next year. We got some big shit coming, guys. Big shit. The things that are going to happen in the next 12 months are going to make like what we just went through with COVID and the elections and Trump look like a freaking Sunday tea party. I'm not even kidding. That's how much bad shit is coming for us. Don't believe me? Just wait and see. Billionaires are teaming up for a pro-Israel, anti-Hamas media drive. The campaign is seeking $1 million donations from dozens of the world's biggest names in media, finance, and tech. I told you this is coming. So Bernie Girl No More says more than 50 individuals are being courted, including former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, Dell CEO Michael Dell, and financier Michael Milken, and they have a combined net worth of around $500 billion. So yeah, the media blitz campaign's about to get much worse because they got the money to back it up now. That'll be fun, won't it? Like totally fun. Okay, let's see what's here now. This is a picture of my family's house 10 days ago. This is today. All my memories, dreams, and shelter for my children were gone. They evaporated with the scream that destroyed every inch of the house. Isn't that insane? Can you imagine? I just can't. So I'm not sure how I missed this at the time, but NBC News reported a month ago that the White House is sending cluster bombs to Israel. We didn't miss it. We talked about it, but I'm glad other people are finally starting to see it, including NBC News. The Biden administration has sent at least 2 shipments of munitions to Israel since the deadly assault by Hamas a week ago. So this was 3 weeks ago. The munitions include inceptors for the Iron Dome's air defense system, cluster bombs known as DPIC MSs or JDAMs, conversion kits, which turn dumb or unguided bombs into smart or precision guided bombs, and other large munitions. Now, we did see some new munitions being used on Gaza the last week. I don't know what they are, and I haven't had time to research them, but they're incendiary. I know that. I mean, you can tell that by the amount of people who are being horrifically fucking burned to death. I didn't bring the videos. You guys know I don't bring the horrific videos. You want to see them? They're on X. Go look. But to see a child's body who has been burned from head to toe. I mean, I burned my finger on my curling iron today and it still freaking hurts right now. And I put silver cream on it twice. Can you imagine having your body burned from head to toe with a chemical like white phosphorus, and you can't have any pain meds? You've survived for now, right? Because we know burns take you out. It takes a couple of months for the infection to really kill you, right? You have nothing. They can't wrap you in cool water like they do in the burn units. They can't do anything for you. You just got to sit there and fucking continue to burn. And maybe a friend will put a fan on you. Will fan you a little bit to help to help you. It's so insane. It's so fucking inhumane and cruel. Cruel. It's just straight up cruel what we're doing to these people, these children, because it's mostly children, right? Oh, I know you guys saw this propaganda bullshit yesterday. So Israel's president, Isaac Herzog, seeks to justify his mass killing of Palestinian children by holding up the book Mein Kampf, claiming it was found in a child's living room. This is the most disgusting shit. Let's get to it, and then I'll read you some of the comments.
Tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people supporting by their demonstrations supporting Hamas. I want to show you something exclusive, Laura. So this is Adolf Hitler's book, translated to Arabic, Mein Kampf. It's the book that led to the Holocaust and the book that led to World War II. This is the book that led to his victory in elections in Germany, which led to the worst atrocity of humankind, which the British fought against. Well, this book was found just a few days ago in northern Gaza in a children's living room, which was turned into a military operation base of Hamas, on the body of one of the terrorists and murderers of Hamas. And he even he wrote notes, he marked and learned again and again Adolf Hitler's ideology of hating the Jews, of killing the Jews, of burning the Jews, of slaughtering the Jews. This is the real warrior act. So all those who demonstrated yesterday, I'm not saying that all of them support Hitler, but all I'm saying is by omitting to understand what Hamas ideology is all about, they're basically supporting this ideology.
There will be many people who were on the...
That is such fucking bullshit. The book looks brand new, for one. I mean, you would think if it's a book found in Gaza, it would be charred, shredded. And if somebody loved it enough to go in there and highlight passages, it would look like the spine had been opened a couple times. That book doesn't even look like it's been opened a couple times. This is so desperate that it's just embarrassing, is what Comrade Misty Putin had to say. And let's see what Fee had to say. I know I put it over here. Come on, go back. Here we go. Fee says, hold on, my deck's not working. It's Monday. Here, I'll move it up here. Then it'll work. Okay. So Fee says, I'm absolutely certain a copy of Mein Kampf, which Israel is doing a fine job of emulating, right? Projection much, was somehow found unscathed amidst the rubble and exploded civilian Palestinian bodies. Yeah, that was my point too, Fee. Brand new damn book. You probably could smell the bookstore still on it. And yeah. This is a part of that campaign, right? We just talked about how they're going to get money together and they're going to have a big campaign. Well, this was part of it, I'm sure. And isn't it just fucking grand that they always project what you're doing onto the other side? Now, we've lived and learned this through politics for so many years now. This is exactly what both sides of the uniparty does. And so why would it be any different during war? The only people who are taking passages from Hitler and using them is Israel. And we've been saying that for a month now, right? So Hezbollah sleeper cells unit 910, what is that supposed to be, a play off of 9/11? I don't know, is in America waiting for signals from Iran to launch surprise attacks. FBI special agents told court sleepers lead to normal life. They lead normal lives. They're just normal, but could be activated and tasked with conducting operations. So I got questions. Now, is this like MK Ultra mind control? Like are they Manchurian candidates? They don't know that they're here until they've been activated. I mean, come on, we need more information, FBI, because you're always telling us this shit, but you never really have any information to back it up. And when you do have information to back it up, you don't act like on actual 9/11, right? This is just more propaganda, 100% propaganda. They want you to fear, right? Fear, be scared. It's going to attack you on American soil if we don't annex and level Gaza, right? Because that's what they're ultimately, that's what Benji pretty much admitted to yesterday. Like, yeah, we're just going to go, and they're not going back. We're not allowing the Palestinian people to remain on their land. They're never going to be allowed to go back to their land. We're going to devastate and decimate every single, living quarter there is. So they have nothing to go back. They have no food. They have no water. They have no electricity. They have no internet. So they won't want to go back. They'll just want to go in the desert where we want them to go. So they're making no qualms about the fact that they are annexing Gaza, 100%. That is the goal for them, is to take it over and to control it, even though they have controlled it for all these years. Amid war and urgent need to ID bodies and evidence of Hamas's October 7th, our slips away. Okay, so I had to cover this R word up. You guys know it, RAPES. They love to scream this word, right? So remember, we were told on the October 7th attacks that there was massive amounts of sexual assaults that were happening, right? And now, conveniently, because of everything that's going on, they can't process those R kits. So it slips away, is what the Times of Gaza is saying. They're saying there's never going to be any proof because we've lost it. We can't process it. Despite the witnesses' testimony, global skepticism persists over the terrorist sexual crimes. So investigations has a mass casualty event in a war zone makes forensics determining impossible. So they're saying, yeah, we can't even do these kits because, so this is preemptive is what this is. So then 6 months from now, when everybody is screaming, how, where's the proof? They're going to be like, well, it was a war zone. It was wartime. We can't process any of the forensics on it. Right. I just thought that, isn't that convenient that they're getting ahead of this story, right? Because that's what they're doing in news talk terms. Get ahead of the story and kill it. Yeah, Kate, I leave that Tom Hartman up there for you. Because you know what? Tom Hartman needs to learn this shit. We used to think that these university educated people knew what was going on. No, they're just indoctrinated. That's all it is. 100%. I want to give a huge shout out to the Rumble. Rumble, you are kicking ass this morning. You got more viewers than even the YouTubes. And I love to see that because that means people are getting it and they are leaving YouTube. YouTube's dying and it's because it's killing itself. But shout out to Ghost Start, Kurt Boss, and who else is over there? Corky 82 is over there. I wish I was born in 82. Look at you, you youngin'. You're such a youngin'. Who else is over there? I'm scrolling. Kate's over there too. Huck Flim, good to see ya, Huck Flim. And I'm going to shout the YouTube out now that I'm here. Popeye's over there. Popeye, good morning. Hi, Vic. How's it going? Vic's hanging out. Kurt Boss, good to see ya, Kurt. It's always good to see ya. Who else is over here? Kate, you're everywhere. I know Cold Fusion was in here. Like I said, Jilly found us this morning. Dirty Dollars. Hi, Dirty Dollars. I haven't got a chance to read much of your guys's chats this morning. Jax, good to see you, Jax. How's the weather in Mexico? Hola, mi amigos. Buenos dias. It's not night. I had to think about it. It's daytime. Buenos dias. I did take a lot of Spanish, and I am working on my Spanish currently. So I would love to have somebody to practice with. And Kate's over on the Rokfin too. And so is Denver Attaway, along with Jim and Fred Edwards. Let me find my other mouse. Who else is hanging out over there? I see Fred. I see Denver. Jim. Did I get Jim? And Popeye. Popeye's everywhere too. Good to see you guys. Okay, we'll keep going. Yeah. Tom Hartman, what a useless human being he's turned out to be. I like this message. These TikTokers that get out there, you guys know I don't do TikTok, but here's the reason why I don't do TikTok. Because if it's a good enough TikTok, it's going to end up on YouTube or X. So there you are. I'm sort of at Twitch too. I'm not even logged into Twitch. Nobody's ever watching on Twitch, but here we go.
America has an economic interest in genocide. I really don't understand why that's hard. Whether it was on our own soil, eradicating Native Americans, whether it's in Latin America when they nationalize any of their resources, or if it's in the Middle East. We have an economic interest in genocide. So what I want to know is, when are we going to stop paying taxes? When are we going to stop funding bloodshed? Okay? The Department of Defense has failed its audits for like 5 years in a row. Probably more, because that was 2020. We have no idea how much of our taxes actually goes to the bloodshed that's happening all over the world. Whether it's on our own soil, in Central America, the Middle East, fucking Africa, it is our taxes that foot the bill. I'm not paying, and I would love to see how many people the IRS actually thinks they can arrest.
Yeah, right? I don't know. I guess a bunch of us are going to be testing that theory out, right? We'll see how in depth trained our new IRS agents are. Has that actually happened yet? I think they gave them the money. I don't know if they actually have the staff yet, right? You know, the Republicans are trying to gut that crap. So yeah, that's what we do. We are funding genocide, and we know it. You know, I went on. You want to see the size of the amount of people that support Palestine? Go on Amazon and try to find yourself any merchandise that supports Palestine. It's all fucking sold out. It is sold out till the end of November, halfway through December. So that just tells me the amount of people in the United States that have been online ordering t-shirts and scarves and pins and bracelets. And I was shocked when I went over there. 5 pages of stuff and none of it's available. It's all sold out. Sold out. So, you know, Americans aren't buying this shit. We absolutely are not. America doesn't want to fight for their country anymore. Oh, imagine that. I wonder why. So I brought the article for this. Let's get this article in here. Peter Nygaard, that's not it. Americans don't want to fight. There we go. Okay, so let's see what this has to say. Oh, there's actually a video. Americans don't want to fight for their country anymore. A majority of American adults will not be willing to serve in the military for the U.S. to enter into a major war, recent polling has found, while public confidence in the armed forces appears to be waning. Oh, imagine that. The figures come as all branches of the armed forces have in recent years struggled to meet the recruitment targets. Suggesting a growing apathy towards a career in the military service. In 2023, the Army and the Air Force fell short of their respective goals by 10,000 recruits. And I call bullshit whoever wrote this, Newsweek. That is 20,000. While the Navy was under by 6,000. Since 1987, a number of active duty personnel has fallen by 39%. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. But America doesn't put boots on the ground anymore. We put asses in chairs and we send drones. That's what we have done forever. Or we'll send bombs for other countries' militaries to drop, right? Experts say that the shortfalls are worrisome. And America leadership unsure it will next have to bring a full military force to bear. So we have strike groups, aircraft carriers with Marine expedition units outside of Israel right now. A former transport operator for the U.S. Marines turned military recruiter told Newsweek, "We're funding 2 wars and we already have boots on the ground, drones above Gaza. So we're already involved in there and we're not sure what's happening in Taiwan. So this is a very tumultuous time for us because we don't know what is going to happen." Okay, this is a really long article. It's Newsweek. You want to go read it? It's Newsweek, whatever. Yeah, sometimes Newsweek gets a few things right. We've seen this over the last 10 years, right? But here's the thing they're not talking about. Our military has changed its focus to inclusivity, right? You know what that means? They're woke. And they are offering medical transition surgeries to anybody who wants to come in. So if you're a man and you identify as a woman, come on in. We're going to pay the $50,000 for you to have a surgery so that way you're comfortable in your skin. And then we own your body for the rest of your life because you're going to continue to need hormones and doctors and health cares. And I won't even get into the whole gash issues and all that. You guys know, you know. And so this is what our military has been focused on. I'm sorry, I'm a woman. And I have fought many men in my life. I am a brawler, man. And I have taken some men on. When you grow up in a domestic violence home, my whole entire life, I have fist fought men. And I am here to tell you, they are fucking stronger. They have a stronger upper body strength all the way around. I don't care what you do to alter your body, to change your perspective. You still have those same things, right? And vice versa. So what does that make our fucking military? It makes it a joke, guys. It makes it a joke. And I'm not a right winger here. You guys know that. I don't blindly support the military. But right now, I have no faith that our military would do shit, right? Except for want to be on TikTok. I mean, they all want to be drag force. Let the race begin. Bye-bye. I'm not trying to make fun. Be who you want to be, but don't go in the fucking military. This is just, this is live. Yes, it is live. And I back up anything I say. And that is not wrong to say. They have changed their focus. And I don't think that we are going to benefit at the end of it for that. So there you are. Yeah, Cold Fusion, like, hey, you better stop. You better stop while you're ahead, right? Let me get my deck in here. I'll stop. Go check it out, Newsweek. But I'm not the only one saying that. Scott Ritter's been saying that. Garland Nixon is saying that. I'm not the only one saying that for sure. So I think this is a part of Benjamin Netanyahu's message that he put out this week. Let's check it out. I don't even know if I've watched this.
זכור את אשר עשה לך עמלק, נצטווינו. אנו זוכרים ואנו נלחמים.
It's an entire nation out there that is responsible. It's not true. This rhetoric about civilians not aware, not involved, it's absolutely not true.
אין חשמל, אין מזון, אין מים, אין דלק. הכל סגור. אנחנו נלחמים בחיות אדם ואנחנו נוהגים בהתאם.
Very puzzled by the constant concern which the world is showing for the Palestinian people and is actually showing for these horrible, inhuman animals who have done the worst atrocities that this century has seen.
עזה לא תחזור להיות מה שהייתה וחמאס לא יהיה. חסל את הכל.
مع هيك وحوش بشرية رايحين نتعامل كيف لازم. إسرائيل فرضت إغلاق كامل على غزة.
هناك إسرائيليون يعني وصفوا الفلسطينيين في غزة وصفوهم بأنهم حيوانات بل أقل من حيوانات.
أنا لا أسويهم بالحيوانات لأن هذا تحقير للحيوانات.
That's an insult to animals.
هذا رأيك دكتور مردخاي.
نعم هذا رأيي.
تكسחו אותם כמה שיותר, שלא להשאיר מהם זכר. שלא הם, לא אמא שלהם, לא הילדה שלהם, לא התינוקות שלהם. אסור להם לחיות לחיות האלה. אתה יש לך שנה חשבן ערבי, אתה לא תחכה שהוא יבוא אליך הביתה. תיכנס אליו הביתה ותירה.
God's will come a place no human being can exist.
לא, אתה חושב שאנחנו יכולים להרוג מאות אלפי פלסטינים ברצועת עזה והדבר הזה יעבור?
תראה, עכשיו בתקשורת הזרה יוצאת הודעה בשם ישראל שמיליון פלסטינים כבר ירדו מדרום הרצועה דרומה, וכל מי שנשאר שם נחשב כמחבל.
Oh yeah, I reported on that last week. He got fired because he said the quiet part out loud.
תשמיד את עזה עכשיו. עכשיו. עזה הופכת לדרזדן, כן.
הארץ שלנו. כל הארץ. כולל עזה. כולל הלבנון.
Oh, this was gross. Yeah. What do I feel like that was Eliza Blue that was singing to them? I don't know why, but it's nothing is funny about the bloodlust that we are living through. We have never in our lifetimes, never in my lifetime, 50 years on this planet, I have never seen this type of bloodlust before. This is insane. This is insane. But it's out there. It's in your face. They're not hiding it. They're not even pretending that they're not doing it. They're calling them animals. They're, The guy said that's an insult to animals. Wow, no humanity left, man. And to the fact that, and I say this every week, the fact that the Jewish people could perpetuate this on somebody else after having done to them what they had done, it's insane. I can't even wrap my mind around it. Let's talk about the babies, guys, because, you know, the babies in incubators seems to get America all pumped up during the Iraq war. And here we are yet again. But this time it's the Palestinian babies. The Palestinian babies that are being killed. So I got this from Jax. Good looking out, Jax. Medical Aid for Palestine says babies in neonatal intensive care units at the Sharif Hospital, which MAPS has supported over many years, are beginning to die from a lack of oxygen. More will die unless the power supply is restored. Because you guys know when a premature baby is born, they have to be warm and they need oxygen till their lungs are developed, right, to survive outside. And so many pregnant women have been killed, and a lot of these babies have been born C-section, you know, to a dying mother or to a dead mother. That is just heart fucking wrenching. And we're so cruel, we don't care. Jack says, for the Zionist who claims that they're so concerned about babies in incubators, yeah, what about these babies? What about these babies? Yeah, it's pick and choose, right? That's what they do. They pick and freaking choose. The things we are seeing being done to the medical field in Gaza is just fucking mind-blowing. I mean, we all have rules of war that we grew up with. I don't care if you were playing tag on the freaking playground or if you were actually in the military. We all know there's a safe base, right? What is the safe base? Hospitals are safe bases. Not any fucking war. Not during this damn war. So after the Indonesian hospital in Gaza was bombed, Indonesia has announced it's sending a hospital ship to Palestine. Well, how will it even get in there? And I'm sure it'll get bombed too, right? All ICU patients at the Al Sharif Hospital have died. All ICU patients. So anybody who was on a ventilator, ICU, you know, we all know what ICU means. That meme on the bottom there with the baby with the gun, oh, that is just heart-wrenching. So U.S. medical groups scramble to help Gaza hospital has been seen unimaginably. Fetuses pulled from dying mothers, kids with crushed lungs and collapse, and colleagues in body bags. I mean, this is CNN that's reporting this shit. It says CNN, guys. That is, I don't have super chat, dirty dollar. You'll have to hit my PayPal or something in the link. I'm not airing on Beauty and the Boomer because I got us in trouble twice, twice in a month. And I'm afraid that if I take another hit over on Beauty and the Boomer, it'll knock Saturday's show out. So I don't want to do that to Oz or Linda. They work too hard to get our shows out. So I'm only up on Trailer Park Pundit. So let's grow Trailer Park Pundit. I only need, I don't know, 850 other followers so I can get monetized, right? But I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm always demonetized. That's the way it is. But all the donation links are in the chat in below. You can hit the link tree and find one that works for you. Did you guys see this disgusting shit? This is just fucking mind-blowing here. Urgent. The American Medical Association, the most powerful medical lobby in the country, just shut down a resolution supporting a ceasefire in Palestine. There was a coordinated effort at the national meeting to shut down the resolution, with the speaker not allowing delegates their allotted 90 seconds to speak about the resolution. Multiple attendees applauded when the resolution was voted out. Oh, you evil, evil people. What does this mean? The largest medical group in the country is actively silencing voices of the healthcare workers supporting a ceasefire, saying it's not relevant to advocacy. The AMC has a responsibility to uphold the well-being of healthcare workers and minimize human suffering. It is clear that these values are not being upheld by some of the most influential physicians in the country, nor is the democratic process being respected. We do not agree with the AMC's decision, and we will continue to advocate for the safety and well-being of the Palestinian people, and our voices will not be silenced. This is disgusting. As a mama, my mom was a nurse. She totally respected it. The AMC, you know, that's where you go get your credentials. Like, they are the be all of medicine. And let's hear from somebody who was actually there.
The American Medical Association has turned its back on the doctors and nurses in Gaza. Now, if you know anything about the AMA, you know that they have a long-standing and well-documented history of racism and not prioritizing or even valuing Black and brown lives. Yesterday, we saw the white supremacy that this organization was founded in front and center. Yesterday, the American Medical Association delegates met in Washington, D.C. It is a leadership meeting for people within the organization. At that meeting, 135 members of the Minority Affairs Committee put forward a resolution to support a ceasefire in Gaza. A ceasefire. Mind you, in the last 48 hours, over 6 hospitals have been bombed, shot, and infiltrated by IDF military members in Gaza. There have been nurses killed. There was a missile that literally functions as a meat grinder dropped in the courtyard of Al-Shifa Hospital. And the American Medical Association turned their fucking backs on them. The young Middle Eastern trainee who put forward that resolution was silenced and then told that a resolution for a ceasefire in Gaza to protect the hospitals, the nurses and doctors and patients in Gaza did not meet the policy requirements, the 3 policy requirements set forward by the AMA. Those policy requirements are these 3 things: advocacy, ethical considerations.
Oh my gosh.
And urgency.
Oh my gosh. There couldn't be nothing more urgent. This is systematic racism is what it is. It's systemic. And this is what, when we say this is systemic racism, absolutely, this is what it is. I mean, God, what privilege, right? To be able to just waltz in there and be like, oh, not my problem. It's not urgent. I don't need to advocate for human lives as a part of the medical industry. Shame on you. Shame on you. You're doing harm. You're doing a lot of fucking harm by being silent, and it's gross. And I think if COVID didn't wake you up to how perverse and corrupt our medical industry did. I mean, I woke up because I was an opiate addict, right? And I was fed big pharma for mental health issues for many, many years. Here, you know, handfuls and handfuls and handfuls of pills, which was so unethical, you know, unethical of my doctors. And so thank God I saw COVID for what it was. But I hope that this wakes people up, continues to wake people up to just how disgusting your medical system is, because it's gross. So in other gross news, did you guys see this? Tony Blair's back. Yeah, that's right. Mr. Evil Demon himself. Israel said seeking to appoint UK's Tony Blair as Gaza's humanitarian coordinator. What the hell is that? That is a contradiction in terms. Tony Blair, a humanitarian coordinator. The only thing he coordinated was the millions of deaths that we saw in Iraq. With pressure on Jerusalem growing to do more for stripped civilians, Netanyahu reportedly hopes former British PM will take on the task of providing war efforts with greater legitimacy. What the fuck does that even mean? Providing war efforts with greater legitimacy. What does that mean? Can you guys even explain to me what the hell that means? Because I can't even wrap my mind around what that means today. I don't know. But are we shocked? Are we shocked that they dusted off one of the Iraq Bushy, 9/11 criminals? I mean, he was like one of the worst evil doers, right? Remember all those, we will stand with America. Yeah, that's what they do, right? This isn't a cartoon. This is real. I'm not making this up. They're the ones saying this shit, guys. Oh, did my deck go down? What is going on here? Part of this slide didn't load. Try reloading. Okay. What do they not want you to see? Let me go see what it is they're trying to not show you. Oh, guess who it is? It's Claire Daly. They don't want you to see Claire Daly. Imagine that. Well, we're going to go around it, and we'll just do a smaller version of my deck, because when I seem to put it in slideshow mode, it does away with Claire. So we'll just do this.
I think it's quite astounding when we look back and think that this time last year there were members of the European Parliament coming in screaming and roaring, demanding that the International Criminal Court would be involved to investigate Russian war crimes. The buildings and the streets of Europe were lit up with flags that we stand with Ukraine. It was almost as if there'd never been a war in the world, that what was going on in Ukraine was so horrific they had to condemn it. They all had to drape themselves with this issue. And what could we do, and could we do more? And a year on, and we're in the situation now in Gaza where we have genocide actually openly declared and carried out, where the numbers of civilians slaughtered and murdered in 30 days in Gaza exceeds the civilian death toll in Ukraine, and that is met with silence. This is something which has been noticed by millions of European citizens who are absolutely horrified, some of whom actually believed the propaganda that when Europe stood with Ukraine, they were standing for democracy and for peace and so on. Now they see that that mask has completely dropped, and that has taken a lot away from a lot of people who believed that Europe was better. So I honestly think, I didn't believe that, by the way. I felt that their position on the Ukraine war was to engage in a NATO proxy war for geopolitical interests against Russia.
Yep.
That sadly has been proven to be the case.
Yep.
So, but for many people, this is quite shocking that they have sided with a genocidal, ethnic cleansing apartheid state who proudly carry out massacres of innocent civilians, particularly children. And I honestly don't think that the European Union will recover in the minds of loads of its citizens, but critically, the nations of the world will not be lectured anymore by Europe about rule of law, democracy, human rights and standards. That day is gone now. It's just an awful tragedy that it's come at the cost of the massacres that are still going on in Gaza.
Claire, why don't we have even one person that comes close to Claire in the United States? Ireland? Yeah, somebody said Ireland don't fuck around. Popeye said Ireland don't play. They don't play. And I've seen so many great videos this week of a lot of their elected officials. And they're not falling for this shit. They're absolutely not. They've been calling it out for what it is right in your face, and keep doing it. Claire, Mick, you burn the world down with your truth. So please keep telling your truths, man, because the people need to hear it. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like it's a TikTok, so let's watch it.
All right, to anyone and everyone sending me messages, just want to say first of all, thank you for the support.
Okay, so for those of you who don't have context to that just amazing video, that is a white South African man who is fighting in the Israeli military.
Oh, that's right.
And I love that. I adore that video because there is no better litmus test historically for figuring out whether or not you're on the wrong side of history than asking yourself, which side are the white South Africans on? Like, you're telling on yourself. You're really telling on yourself. Like, that's it's fucking crazy. But as funny as that is, it really shouldn't surprise us, right? Because, you know, the Israeli government and the apartheid South African government go way back. Like, people forget this, but Israel was one of the prime arms dealers to the apartheid South African government right up until its collapse. And even once the sanctions internationally started being imposed to stop the arms deals, Israel was still going through with plenty. And on top of that, Israeli officials and technicians were critical in South Africa's development of its own nuclear weapons program. People forget that, but Israel and South Africa were exchanging resources, technical expertise, etc. to build out both of their nuclear weapons programs for years. And in fact, it was not uncommon on the ground to see Israeli technicians and military advisors either training South African forces or helping them develop nuclear weapons programs and other things. And it wasn't a one-way exchange either. Israel was borrowing management strategies and structures and actually implemented them in occupied Palestine, which is why in the West Bank in particular today it looks like a functional series of Bantustans. It was a match made in heaven, right? It was two settler colonies just doing settler colonial shit. But yeah, all that to say is that that video was both hilarious and not without historical precedent, because white South Africans have been loving Israel and loving Zionism for a long fucking time. But again, if you are someone who supports Palestinian liberation, you should be really happy watching that video, because there is no better indication that we are on the right side of history than seeing Afrikaners in our opposition. Something worth thinking about, I guess. As always, free Palestine, and have a great day.
Oh, he's got such a great point, right? If you find yourself on the same side as South African colonizers, then you know you're on the wrong side, right? So not shocking at all if you're paying attention. The oppressors always stick together, right? Especially discussing South Africa. And you want to know why Elon is who he is. Go do some research into the emerald mines in South Africa and who actually paid for them to have that power, right? This is a story as old as time, I think, you know. It is. So journalists medical professionals are not the only one that is being targeted. Of course, journalists are being targeted. And this was a journalist that was targeted over a year ago. You know, we want to talk about, that was a good clip. I agree. We want to talk about how they are singling out and attacking journalists right now since October 7th. But let's not forget that Israel has been attacking, the IDF has been attacking and killing journalists and protesters for many years, and they never take any responsibility for it. So just a reminder, this is Professor Zenka says this is Shireen Abba Akleen, a Palestinian American journalist assassinated by IDF in 2022 in the West Bank. Hamas is not in the West Bank. She was shot in the face while reporting. She was an American citizen, and nations who murder journalists are not democracies. 100%. So Israel's International Security Agency announced that they will eliminate all participants of the October 7th massacre. The photojournalists who took part in the recording of the assault will be added to that list. So did you see this is what they're saying? All journalists are fair game. If you recorded part of what happened on October 7th, you got a target on your back. But any journalist who goes into Israel, Gaza, the West Bank, Jerusalem, they're all targets. 100%. You got a target on your back if you are trying to tell the truth about what's happening to the Palestinian people, the genocide, the ethnic cleansing that's going on. Cornel West got out there and gave a speech this week, and I haven't been loving on Cornel for a long time. You guys know that, but I give him dues where dues are due, and he had some good stuff to say this weekend. Doesn't mean he'll make it as a presidential candidate, but let's hear him out.
Years have been terrorized, traumatized, and hated, and we dish out love warriors and freedom fighters every generation, which means that we stand in solidarity with anybody who's occupied, anybody who's subjugated, anybody who's exploited, and that's why we focus on Gaza at this moment, because a genocidal attack is taking place. Yeah. 10,000 dead and 4,000 precious children. And don't let anybody tell you that because you love Palestinians and Palestinian babies that you hate somebody else. It just doesn't follow what our brothers and sisters. We don't hate Jewish brothers. We don't hate Jewish sisters. We don't hate Jewish siblings. We hate a vicious Israeli occupation. We loathe and we hate a vicious siege against Gaza. And the least we can do at this moment of overwhelming barbarity is have a ceasefire. And yet you got these cowards in Washington, D.C. talking about a humanitarian pause. Please
Like Bernie? Get off the crack pipe, Bernie!
See the humanity of precious Palestinian
Did you
brothers
just
and
call
sisters.
Brother Bernie out?
And the American empire has the nerve in this building to veto a humanitarian pause with our precious Palestinian brothers and sisters being bombed. What kind of country are we? What kind of people are we? And we send a message to Palestinian brothers and sisters and siblings in Gaza. You are not forgotten. We see you. We focus on you. We give attention to you. And it doesn't mean that we're not concerned with our indigenous brothers and sisters here. It doesn't.
You can go find that whole speech. I've seen Cornell give live speeches many times, and he delivers them like a sermon, man. Nobody can stir up a crowd like Cornell West. And I love advocate Cornell West. I absolutely do. But presidential candidate Cornell West, not so much. Not so much. Keep speaking your truth, Cornell. And I love that he calls out Bernie fucking Sanders. He doesn't say Bernie Sanders, but he says all of those calling for humanitarian pause. Well, guess who called for humanitarian pause? Brother Bernie. So, yeah, you keep calling him out, Cornell. We know who you were swinging at. I know who you were swinging at. So, for a lot of people, the death of babies, seeing a blown up babies, burned babies, dead babies, decapitated babies, we've seen it all in the last 30 days. And I know you have too. But the one that really gets a lot of people is the animals, right? We can't forget, hey, liberals, kids aren't the only ones Israel is slaughtering. Oh my God, seeing the videos of the cats and dogs that have been maimed by these bombs. Now think about it. You're on the ground, you're in Gaza, you're just trying to live, you're trying to survive, your family's trying to survive. Do you really have time to try to protect animals, right? Or to help the animals? You have a half blown up baby or a half blown up cat. Who are you going to help? The half blown up baby, obviously. So it's just heart wrenching to see what's happening to the pets of Gaza during all of this. And, some people, it doesn't get them in the feelers to see a baby hurt, but it does get them in the feelers to see an animal hurt. And, either way, they're all innocent. Kids, cats, dogs, they're all innocent. And it just breaks my heart. I mean, I won't even show it again. It's just sad. Poor kitties. And I know you guys feel that way too. I do. I see you guys talking about it. The real Israel's lion. You're just a Jew hater, anti-Semitic. Yeah, I get told that constantly. Hamas started it. Hamas beheaded babies. Hamas burned grandma. Hamas destroyed a whole, I don't know, it's covered up. We have the right to defend ourselves. Oh God, I'm so tired of hearing that one. And human shields, 1,200 innocent civilians, ard. Well, we all know that is not the reality, right? But those are the lies that you keep getting told. That is their excuse for doing what they can do, right? What they're going to do. But this is the real reason. And we've talked about this many times. Gaza's gas is worth $500 billion and everyone wants it. You guys know Gaza has gas, right? They don't have no fancy pipelines and they don't even have a way to tap this. A lot of it is off the coast from what I understand, but the potential for $500 billion is there and Israel wants it. America wants it. And that's the bottom line. I mean, even RFK Jr. admitted, hey, we're there for the oil, right? I mean, Trump told us years ago. Yeah, that's what it's always about finite resources. We say this always. Okay, so this is something I had on the deck from last week, and I don't know why I played it. Maybe we ran out of time. But do you guys remember when Kanye went all batshit crazy, or the media told us he was batshit crazy? He went off his meds, right? Kanye was off his meds and he was dropping some truth. And they called him anti-Semitic because he told everybody that the real Jews are black. And oh my God, you can't say shit like that. You're not allowed to say that. You anti-Semitic. They ran him out of Hollywood for it. So maybe somebody else saying it means something different.
Zionism is a political philosophy which has brought about the state of Israel, the so-called state of Israel. This political philosophy has nothing to do with religion. On the contrary, it seeks to confuse others and let them think that Zionism and Judaism is one and the same. I am a conscious African. I know properly my history. I know that Africa gave Judaism to the world. I know that the first Jews in the world were Africans. Not only do I know this, but I inform everyone who has doubts about it to read a book by Sigmund Freud entitled Moses and Monotheism as a beginning. Consequently, I know that Judaism and Zionism are not the same. Zionism had its first organizational expressions in 1897 in Basel, Switzerland, in Europe. Here was a man by the name of Theodor Herzl, H-E-R-Z-L. He was the founder of Zionism. He said that he was going to find the state that God promised the Jews. Listen to this very carefully. This man, Herzl, was an atheist. He believed that there was no God. He said God did not exist. Now, how is it that the man who believes that God does not exist is going to find a state that God promised to his chosen people? I'm telling you, this man is Satan in disguise. Zionism is a satanic movement. It is devil. It is imperialism. It is racist. It has gone and taken the lands of the Palestinian people and through terrorism has driven them out. And through terrorism, it maintains its power. And the United States of America, with over 6 million homeless, sends to Israel billions and billions and billions of dollars everywhere to bomb Palestinian people while homeless people are here and unemployed are here. Zionism is going to raise this war and make the people in America become clear to what it is and become anti-Zionist and stop the aid to Israel and use the money to take care of the homeless in this country. Zionism.
I want to say that was from 1967. That's how old that clip is. So the truth has been out there for a long, long time, right? And so eloquent. I agree. And I brought you another one. I mean, these older clips, this one's James Baldwin. These older clips, the info's been out there. We've known this for probably since 47, 48, right? I mean, that was ultimately the goal, was the rise of the Zionists.
If we were Irish, if we were Jewish, if we were Poles, if we had, in fact, in your mind, a frame of reference, our heroes would be your heroes too. Nat Turner would be a hero for you instead of a threat. Malcolm X might still be alive. And everyone is very proud of brave little Israel, a state against which I have nothing. I don't want to be misinterpreted. I'm not an anti-Semite. But, when the Israelis pick up guns, or the Poles, or the Irish, or any white man in the world says, give me liberty or give me death, the entire white world applauds. When a black man says exactly the same thing, word for word, he is judged a criminal and treated like one, and everything possible is done to make an example of this bad nigger so there won't be any more like him.
Oh, Colin from INN says, when Palestinians proclaim from the river to the sea, they are demonized. When a Zionist says from the Euphrates to the Nile, or a white American, give me liberty or give me death, they are praised. It's never about the word. It's who says them. Yes, bravo, Colin. You're absolutely right. And did you guys see that the Nile has ran red? Did you see that? I mean, the Euphrates is dried up, and that's biblical. But the Nile running red, that's very biblical. And I haven't brought you guys a report on it. We know what turns our waterways red, right? It's poisoning. It's a algae normally. And but it is biblical to say that the Nile is running red. This isn't funny, but I still brought it just as an example. This is somebody turned Blinken and is that Biden into Beavis and Butthead? I just thought I'd bring it for you guys.
Hey, Blinken, let's go steal Palestine. How you gonna do that, baby? there are people living on it.
Oh, it's BB. Yeah, BB and Anthony.
We'll just say it's God's will and stuff. Oh, cool. What's this do? Weren't there babies in there? We'll just say it was hummus, dumbass.
So this isn't funny. This is clearly satire. And, but I like in the background, it says, this way to Gaza, genocide isn't funny, but Zionism should be ridiculed out of existence. Yes, that part is great, right? That part was great. It should be ridiculed out of existence. Oh, I can't wait to get in my new studio. I hate how slow my camera is on this one. Okay, timeline cleanse. Let's stop talking about Gaza. I got lots of other stuff to talk about because, this is a presidential campaign year. So there's plenty of bullshit to cover. But you guys know I like the crows. So I had to bring you. I think this is a raven. I don't think it's a crow, but check this out.
Va bene? Via. Vai, Omar.
I need to get me a singing raven. Damn it. You guys know I need a singing raven. That was super cute. That was super cute. Smart. God, they're so smart. They are super smart. Thanks, Kate. I try. We still got a long ways to go. So stay tuned. There's still so much more. Yeah, I just thought we would get moving on with the clowns in Congress. And it turns out I got an email the other day. My House representative, Derek Kilmer, the fourth fattest cat in the House, has decided he's not running for another term. So he's been there 8 years. And that means that CD6 in Washington is about to open up. We have 1 year to figure out how to steal our voice back from the House, right? Because they're going to dump a lot of freaking money. You got to understand where I live is highly annexed and supported by the Navy. So Derek's going to want to get somebody in there that'll do the same shit that he did for them. And I have a feeling that he's either going into the private sector, with one of his donors, maybe Boeing, maybe Microsoft, who knows? It's Washington. There's lots to choose from. Or he's stepping up to a better seat. We'll see. But the fact of the matter is, even though we don't think that electoral politics will change much, or that you can, right, that you can infiltrate the election process, we're going to try. I've been in contact with a lot of my on the ground grassroots political organizers from the last 8 years. And we're going to make a go at it, man. We're at least going to swing and try to get somebody who actually speaks for the people in that spot. But we know they're going to bring a ton of money to fight us. So we're still going to try. So speaking of trying, we didn't talk about it, but Jill Stein, she dropped her announcement the end of last week that she's just decided to be the head of the Green Party ticket, which, come on, we all fucking knew that. I knew that as soon as Cornell dropped out that Jill was going to be the head of the ticket. Is Ajamu Abraku going with her? Probably. I don't know. But what is the biggest thing that we learned about the Green Party in the last 8 years, 10 years? That they are a fucking joke. They don't have any infrastructure. They're very cliquey, very, very cliquey. They say they stand for so many things, but when you come in and you actually try to fight for those things inside their party, they're cliquey. Like, get out of here with that. And they rig their own primaries. So I don't have a lot of hope for the Green Party. I know some of y'all do, and a lot of people are excited about this shit. But, I supported Stein in 2016. As soon as I came out of Philadelphia and knew that the Dems had ripped Bernie off, I pivoted to Jill. And, Jill was going to allow Bernie to come in and be head of the Green Party ticket. But, oh, no, he couldn't do that, right? Because he's a shill. And I applied to work on Jill's campaign. And when I say apply, I did like 5 pages of applications. You had to have, letterheads or opening letters, and you had to have resume, and you had to have resources, and blah, 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 blah. I jumped through all the hoops, and I never even got so much as a thank you for your application back. I just got fucking ignored, silence. But that's okay. because I, went grassroots and I organized locally. I was the only person. I mean, my group was the only group that was actually getting campaign signs out, getting campaign info out, trying to table at events, trying to help the Green Party, even though the Green Party didn't want to help them fucking selves. And I can tell you that every time I have encountered Jill Stein in real life, IRL, she has been a total beach. That's all I'll say. Not worth. She looked down upon me anytime I tried to have a conversation. You're in my space. You're saying words to me I don't care, and they were nice words too. Oh my God. So I'm just over Jill Stein. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Say what you're gonna say. It isn't gonna change anything at the end of the day, right? They will install the puppet that they want. That's how the game works. So don't think that Jill Stein's going to be the puppet they're going to install. It's just going to be a waste of money and a waste of time. Guys, don't fall for it. Please don't fall for it. Don't. Have we learned nothing? Jill Stein is not the answer. Let's talk about Kennedy. New CNN poll doesn't even mention RFK Jr. Oh, I wonder why. I'm going to start a new cream of bullshit, and I'm going to add News Nation to it because they are total bullshit.
This whole thing with the independent candidates, RFK Jr., the media can ignore him. But as I said earlier, most of the population does not want either of the two major party candidates. This ground is so fertile. This is better than 1992 and Ross Perot. And so that you got between RFK Jr., Cornel West will draw from the left. Yep. And if No Labels, puts together a fusion ticket, there is going to be a massive amount of people not voting for the two major
But I
candidates.
think that they're going to take away all from the Biden side.
Yes.
I don't
Except
for RFK.
No, they're not.
If Biden is focused on turnout, as he should be as a Democrat, that's the concern.
Namiki,
because if you're
shut
focused
up.
on turnout, and if you're focused on people of color, if you're focused on young people, those
She's
folks
looking
are
old.
going. It's hard to measure that. This is unprecedented. Yeah, it's fertile ground if you want to disrupt an election. Let's be very clear. The reason why
they want a choice. They want to vote for somebody who's not too far right or not too far
Fair enough, but democracy is on the line here, and the only one who wins in this situation is Donald Trump. So the reason why the newsrooms are ignoring RFK, other than the fact that he's a conspiracy theorist, an anti-Semite, let's go on, is that he is a disruption to democracy, and things are too unstable right now.
To the status quo, which is the reason why we're here now.
Okay,
the
so you think RFK
is better than any of the status quo people without question.
We're 1 year away.
It's
You
not
think
even close.
RFK can build a massive operation to beat both the Democrat and the Republican Party, who have organization all over the country.
The fact that you say that is the problem.
But there's a reality of
there's a reality of politics. The reality of it is, if they don't get 270. Then it goes to the Congress, and there's a chance anybody could win if it goes to the Congress. The point is getting enough electoral votes to when neither side gets 270. That's how any independent could win.
You sound like you're going to storm the Capitol right now.
But the
oh my God, she's so
cringe. But that was their strategy. I mean, these are disruptive strategies. You don't know.
She is so fucking cringe. If you don't know who that was Nomiki Konst, and I've met her, and I'm just going to tell you this. She likes to, if you know what I mean. And she is so full of shit. And remember, she was the one that got on that what was it? It was a committee right after the DNC to look into rigging, right? She was going to be the voice against the rigging of our super delegates. They were going to change that. She has been a DNC plant op all along. She's always been about money and reputation and how many shows can she get on. And nobody's really seen her, right? Remember, she went and got into the independent media space for a long time. She hung out with the likes of Emma Vigeland and George Charleston, those type of people. And she was going to do the independent thing. And now here she pops up on News Nation after nobody's seen her in a couple of years. And she's selling points like RFK Jr. is anti-Semitic. What? Has she not been paying attention to the crap that guy is spewing? Like, you sound like a fool. And then when somebody says an independent, as long as they get 270, could take it, she says, oh, you sound like you're ready to storm the Capitol. Yeah, that's something a grassroots independent person would say. Not even. So gross. I was a little shocked when I saw her pop up on this. I was like, Nomiki. Are we shocked to see Nomiki over there kissing the ass of News Nation? Not one bit. She would love to have her own show on News Nation. And it would be vile and full of bullshit lies, just like Emma Vigeland does every day over at Sammy Cedars. Or is it Pac-Man? Is she on Pac-Man or Cedar? I don't remember. I don't watch that crap. Here's some wise words from Kamala Harris.
I think it's always important to look around the room and then ask who's not in the room, and then figure out how to bring them in. And often, and all of the leaders here know, often is not just because you might leave the door open. That's not enough. You got to go out to where folks are, literally, where they are.
Palestine?
Be it where they are geographically or where they are in terms of what they're bringing in terms of life experience to the moment, to be able to connect with them and bring them in.
Because she has so much life experience to draw from, guys. She knows what the hell she's talking about. I mean, she's not wrong that those spaces, you should be looking around to see who's not here and bring them to the table. But she's just spewing crap. She don't actually fucking mean it, right? Not one damn bit. And but she's the hope for the future, if you didn't know. Yeah, they want to put her forward. So many people want to see her tapped instead of Biden, right? Which I'm not counting out. We're not counting anything out. We are a year out and we still don't have a serious fucking candidate on the Democrat side, right? Whether we like them or not, the Democrats haven't chose their token person to push forward. So we're still waiting to see who they're going to choose. Let's see. Did I cut this?
What's so terrifying to me.
Okay, well, we're just going to play it. I'll play it till I cut it because I didn't put a cut on it. This is Tucker Carlson and Glenn Greenwald, and I believe they're talking about censorship, if I remember right.
Though, is that the right, the American political right, which really was through this kind of weird transformation that's happened over the past dozen years, has become the lone defenders of the First Amendment. They've abandoned that in the last month, like, instantly. So I think you could say, I strongly support Israel. I strongly dislike Hamas. I'm rooting for, maybe I think we should commit troops to the region. I mean, whatever. You can have any view you want. However, American citizens have a right to express their opinion, period. And that supersedes any other event in any other country. It's like that's a core right. And I don't hear many conservatives saying that. And so you sort of wonder, like, if they're not defending it, who will?
I mean, there are people who have built their careers, Tucker, over the last 5-6 years, standing up and saying, we can't have cancel culture. We can't have censorship. College students aren't entitled to feelings of safety. We don't censor in order to protect people from views they find threatening, mocking the notion that minority groups are vulnerable and we have to censor in order to protect them. Turn on a dime and now become the leading voices saying, because American Jews feel unsafe, that's valid in a way that, say, claims from black people or LGBTs or Latinos aren't valid, and because of that, we need to censor. Fortunately, there have been some conservatives, influential ones, who have been quite consistent. Candace Owens, for example, had a very public argument with Megyn Kelly in which she was saying, we're not the left. We don't get people fired for their political views. We don't believe in using the law to silence people. There have been Vivek Ramaswamy on your show. He just wrote an article in the Wall Street Journal saying we're not going to defeat Hamas through censorship or cancel culture in the United States. And I think the biggest example and the most important one, which is fire.org, that became very popular among conservatives in the United States because they were defending the rights of free speech on campuses for conservative students at a time when the ACLU wouldn't, stood up and vehemently denounced Ron DeSantis for a grave direct attack on the First Amendment when he tried to ban a pro-Palestinian group on campus on the grounds that they're providing material support for Hamas, even though he doesn't claim they did anything other than express their views. And I think this is the point. You are allowed to stand up in the United States and say, I think the United States should bomb Iran into oblivion. I think we should turn Gaza into a parking lot. Lindsey Graham stands up every day and calls for violence of that kind, and he's protected by the First Amendment from doing so. You also, though, as an American, are allowed to stand up and say, I think Israel is at fault in this conflict because of the occupation and the blockade. I think that people in Palestine have a right to fight back. I think that violence is justified because Israel has become repressive. You can think all those views are repulsive, but leave the question of what you think of those views to the side. No question, Americans have a right to express them, and there has been a concerted effort on the part of many conservatives, including many who have led the way in mocking claims of victimhood and victimhood narratives by minority groups and the idea that people need to feel safe. They are now the ones turning around and saying, no, because of how dangerous this speech is, we need to ban it. We need to ban these protests. We need to ban student groups. We need to put people on no hire lists. The exact kind of tactics they spent 5 or 6 years up until a month ago aggressively denouncing. And it's very dispiriting, even though it's not surprising, the minute that they have views that they find offensive for them to watch them and turn around and use all the same theories to say those views cannot be expressed. That is incredibly dangerous, because in the future, when conservatives want to complain about the censorship regime that has been implemented, who will possibly take them seriously after we just watched them, the minute there was an issue of great importance to them, which is Israel, turn around and call for censorship? Obviously, it's not a principle if the only time you defend free speech is when it comes to views you agree with. Anybody can do that. That's easy to do. That's worthless. The only real test of whether you believe in free speech is whether you defend the right to express the views you find most offensive. And a lot of conservatives, not all, are woefully failing that test.
Okay, we ended up watching the whole thing because when Glenn gets on fire, Glenn is on fire, and he's absolutely 100% correct. This is America. You have the right to have your own opinion and express that opinion, and that's not where we find ourselves nowadays, right? It's scary where we find ourselves right now. 100%. We still got a long ways to go, so I'm just going to keep moving. Ukrainian military officers coordinated the Nord Stream pipeline attack. So here you go. We have a sacrificial lamb who is being thrown under the bus. What's his name? Roman Chervinsky, a colonel in the Ukrainian Special Operations Force, was integrated to the brazen sabotage operation. Some people familiar with the planning. So this is preemptive is what this is. Let's get out there, because the Ukrainian thing is winding down, and information is going to come out that, hey, America was behind the Nord Stream pipeline. So we'll just blame it on Ukraine's special operations. America didn't know anything about it. That's how it happened. So this is them getting in front of it, right? Throw them under the bus, get in front of it, get out there in front of it. That's exactly what they've done. Are we surprised? Not surprised. Hey, good news. San Francisco got cleaned up for the weekend, because this happens in all major cities. Now, I saw this happen first in Philadelphia in 2016. When they have some major event going on in a big city, they will come in and sweep the homeless, right? They push them out. We know that. Well, San Francisco just did this. Now, check it out.
While San Francisco is in the spotlight for the Asia-Pacific Economic Conference, city leaders are making sure the city shines.
Tourism is our business here in San Francisco, and we need to focus on making sure that the tourist dollars still come back.
Caltrans repaving major roadways like the Harrison Street off-ramp from the I-80. BART doubling down by deep cleaning their stations overnight more often.
The city had gotten a little bit dingy over time.
Scrubbing and power washing is happening all over the city.
Yeah, the bottom of my shoes look clean.
It's noticeable how clear the streets look and how few homeless encampments there are on major thoroughfares.
Having been a longtime resident in the Bay Area, you just naturally start to wonder of houseless folks being displaced.
Public Works is installing decorative crosswalks in North Beach and Chinatown, and the Webster Street pedestrian bridge in Japantown was recently repainted. The Yerba Buena Gardens at the Moscone Center are decked out with new colorful landscaping and murals, paid for by the Clean California grant, just in time for the 20,000 high-profile CEOs and heads of state coming into town next week.
Can't have those CEOs seeing how disgusting the city really is. So yeah, they cleaned the poop up and shoved the homeless off, and good time. But that'll go right back to the way it is next week, I'm sure. After the tech geniuses and CEOs leave, that's disgusting. But that's what they do in these major cities. Not the first time, not the last time. George Takei is a vile human being. The CIA assessment concludes that Russia interfered with our elections, with the margin so close to the result is illegitimate. Hey, electors. Of course, that was in 2016. Fast forward to 2022, and he said, here's a simple rule. Never elect any election deniers into positions that oversee our elections. Yeah, words of wisdom, not so wise at all from George Takei. Only a fool believes that electricity used for air conditioning harms the planet, but electricity used to charge a Tesla does not. And I'm going to bet George Takei probably has a Tesla, and he probably doesn't think that, his charging it is a problem. What do you think? What do you think? That's the hypocrisy of the left in your face. Hey, good news. The orcas are back at it. A pod of orcas has sunk a yacht in the Strait of Gibraltar again. This is November 7th, so this is just a couple days ago. And when interviewed, they said, I think our first game of fall yacht sinking season was a smashing success. I mean, we had that thing sinking into the Atlantic in only like 45 minutes, and that was mostly our rookie squad. Bravo. Bravo. Score for the Orchids. They're back at it. I mean, that should just tell you these guys have got such a bloodlust for humans now because of what we've done to them that they're just coming for us, man. They ain't laying off. And it seems like the squad we have, which is the J pod, they're a little bit more docile. I don't see them attacking as much as these ones over in Gibraltar. Gibraltar's got the hardcore mobster sharks, I guess. I don't know. So while everybody's got their eyes fixed on Gaza, the WHO is sneaking through the vaccine passports, and we're running out of time to fight it. And here's just a quick update.
This morning, the 193 member states of the United Nations approved the political declaration on pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response.
In May 2024, 194 member states of the WHO will have their final vote on both of these international agreements. This process takes place behind closed doors. It is not reported nor discussed in our newspapers, in our national parliaments, in universities, nor in society. The WHO claims in these two legal instruments an absolute and non-questionable leadership in all health matters as soon as WHO refers itself to pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response.
So there you go. May is when that resolution is going to push through. And yeah, nobody's talking about it. Absolutely not. And so I came across this next video, which is Bill Gates' digital IDs, which is the same thing, right? Bill Gates is pushing this. The World Economic Forum wants it. The WHO wants it. This will be global control. So I come across this TikTok, and I'm going to play it for you, but you're going to have to read it, but we'll get to the point of it.
Well, they're no longer hiding it, friends. Bill Gates' digital IDs will be mandatory to participate in society. Make sure you hold the screen to pause and read, and take a look at my Patreon, where you'll find a lot more on this topic. God bless, friends.
Okay, so I did pause and read it. This is November 8th, 50 in 5 agenda. Okay, what the hell is 50 in 5 agenda? With digital passports. Yeah, it goes pretty fast. So, okay. So I'm reading that, and I'm like, what is the 50 and 5? I mean, we've all heard the blah, blah, blah by blah, 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 20 by 30, blah, blah. They have so many codes for this stuff. So I had to go check out this 50 and 5, and I brought the website for you guys. Implementing digital infrastructure is what it's all about. Okay, here we go. So 50 and 5 is implementing digital public infrastructure safety and inclusivity. 50 and 5 is a country-led advocacy campaign by 2028, and 50 in 5 campaign will help 50 countries design, launch, and scale components of their digital public infrastructure. So on November 8th, 50 and 5 was formally launched, with countries coming together to commit to sharing learning, best practices, technology that can ultimately reduce costs, build local capacity, maximize impact, and help radically shorten the implementing journey for digital public infrastructure. So there you are. What is a DPI? It is digital public infrastructure. So DPI is going to be a new acronym they're going to be throwing around at us. And this is going to be a part of your digital passport, the DPI. And everything's going to be listed in the DPI. I mean, everything's going to be connectable by the DTI. So there you are. When you hear what is 50 and 5, it is a new World Health, Health Economic Forum agenda, like they always have, right? So are we shocked? No. And shout out to Amber King, because she has been screaming at us about this for 3 years now. Get your shit together. This is the most important fight we have. We've got to keep fighting this. And yeah, that's where we are. It's coming, whether you like it or not, whether you want to participate or not. The mark of the beast, you're going to have it in order to participate in modern society, is what they say. What is this? I don't know what this is, so we'll just go here. Alex Jones, a mystery seismic wave recently shook Earth, and scientists can't explain it. Scientists are at a loss to explain a strange seismic event that shook the whole planet on November 11th and was picked up by earthquake sensors stationed across the globe. While the cause of this mysterious disturbance remains unknown, it's somehow linked to an ongoing seismic swarm that has been rumbling the Mariana and the Olympic Ocean for several months. But just what these unusual tremors ultimately significant remains unclear. So they don't know what's shaking the earth, but something is shaking the earth, and it is picking up on sensors. I don't know. They say they've got a doomsday machine down there in Antarctica. Could that be it? We've heard a lot about military applications that have the ability to create seismic waves. So I'm just going to guess and say it's the military. That's my conspiracy. What do you guys think it is? What is it? So Jilly sent me this horrific Hillary Clinton snuff film circulating on the dark web. This is old news. The video codename Frazzle Drip has been circulating on the dark web since Monday. Well, no, it's been circulating for many fucking years. And it's confirmed that it's the worst nightmare. Here's the thing, guys. This pops up every 6 months and everybody talks about it, right? This frazzled drip. We've talked about it before. I've actually heard this video. I haven't, there isn't much that you can see of the video. If I remember right, it's really dark and like almost infrared-y looking. So it really leaves your mind, your imagination to kind of fill in the spots. But listening to it, it's horrific. It is fucking, if it's real, it is fucking horrific and it's evil, but it's nothing new. That's nothing new. That's been out there for a long, long time. And that shit used to be on YouTube. I'm telling you that when it first broke, that stuff was on YouTube. That's how bad YouTube's got. Hey, good news. Peter Nygaard was found guilty of 4 sexual assault charges and acquitted on 2 other counts. Now, this guy is the slimiest of the slime. Of course, he's the Canadian Jeffrey Epstein. He was friends with Epstein, and he ran a fashion empire that he used to abuse. And it's good to see that Canada slapped him down. Now, he has more accusations from more women than Cosby, Epstein, and Weinstein combined. That's how many women have came forward over the years and said Peter Nygaard did something to them. And so even his own son turned him in 2019 and helped the prosecution. That's how vile this guy is. We're going to do an Uncensored on Thursday. I've got a special video that I came across just to show you how gross this guy is. So we'll check it out on Thursday night. We'll do a Peter Nygaard update, but thank God one of them's going to jail, about time. This is good for the victims. I'm glad they might get some closure from this. What a vile human being. I did a really deep dive on Peter Nygaard probably 3 years ago, back in the big Epstein days. And oh, what a piece of shit. Evil, straight up evil, man. I hear his parents didn't get the jab way back in 2022. You notice what that is. Okay.
Do y'all ever think about what we're going to tell our kids about what being a parent was like when they were kids? Because if you say it out loud, it's like, wow, this shit's actually pretty crazy. Like, listen, kids, the government was out of control. They had literally poisoned everything, and they were sending all of our money to other countries. So we were like, oh my God, we can't pay their bills. And they were like, oh my God, but these countries over here need your money. So anyway, the food was poisoned, the water was poisoned, so we had to start buying food from local farmers, and we didn't really eat a lot of fruits and vegetables just because the quality was so bad, because the government poisoned everything. And what was even crazier is the medical industry was basically the mafia, and they were the #1 killer of people in America, but you couldn't say anything about it because, like I said, they were literally the mafia. So anyways, we did a lot of things to make sure you guys could keep your fertility as you got older. So yeah, that's why we're farmers. Any questions?
Any questions? I love that. This is what you tell your kids of why we have to grow our own food, why you can't just go to the grocery store and buy food anymore, because it's all fucking poison, right? So House passes $14 billion Israel aid package and a $76 billion to Ukraine. Americans on Thanksgiving, yeah, we're eating top ramen. We know it. Let's see. I work at McDonald's, and we have these little cards that will give the customers when we fuck up their order and let them redeem the card for a free Big Mac. Just recently, we received a box of these special coins. They are going to serve the same purpose. If you have one of these coins, you can exchange it for a Big Mac. It's for the 50th anniversary of the Big Mac. Now, I'm far from an economics expert, so this may just be a stupid question, but since our money has no value anymore, since it was taken off the gold standard, wherein these coins from McDonald's are backed up by Big Macs, does that make them a more stable currency than our own money? Yes, they do. I think they do. So there you go. Start collecting your Big Mac coins. They're going to be worth more than the American dollar. Could be. What do you think? I don't know. Don't eat Big Macs. I can tell you that. Gross. I can't be the only person who thinks the past 3 years, the energy of the world has changed and something strange is happening. We've been telling you this. It absolutely has. They cut down all the trees and then blame the cows for farting. Yeah, that's true. That is true. The lizard people are laughing at us. I wonder if those are the ones that live under LA. LA's got a bunch of caverns where the lizard people lived. That's not a joke. Go look it up. So Sears has decided to become more like the spirit of Halloween. Have you seen this? Valley Mall welcomes back Sears for the holidays. Surprise! So the holidays are just not complete without a shop in Valley Mall and at the Sears. So apparently they took the spirit of Halloween model and decided to do it with Sears. Now, you just might have a Sears pop up next to you. I don't know. I don't know how long they last. Are they only there for 2 months, 3 months, like a Spirit of Halloween? Spirit of Halloween's model is pretty, when you break it down, it's pretty smart. You know what they do. To $500,000 to buy a Spirit of Halloween, it makes about $1 million a year. I could see Sears wanting to do this model. Is that weird? That's just weird. That is weird. I think we have a Hollywood go fuck yourself. Because Hollywood can go fuck yourself. The SAG strike is over, right? They got to go back to work. It's only good for 2.5 years. They totally screwed them on the AI end of it, basically. And I've seen a couple of good interviews breaking down. That was weird. I thought that was weird too. Breaking down, what they're going to do for these actors. But at the end of the day, it's still Hollywood. So the View, the Pooh, all these millennials are going out and putting videos on TikTok about how hard it is to live. How do you expect us to live? I work 10 hours a day. I can't pay my bills. I can't eat. I can't, drive my car, blah, blah, blah. Well, the ladies over at The View, they know better, and you're just whining and sniveling. It's not the economy. It's you. You're buying too many lattes. And Karen Johnson, Whoopi, ain't no joke. She's just terrible.
Apparently, millennials and Gen Z have a much different view of the American dream than past generations. Data shows that soaring inflation, student debt, and limited room for advancement in the workplace has made them feel that milestones like affording a home, starting a family, excelling within the corporate structure are out of reach. Does every generation feel this way at some point? I say yes. What do you think? I'm sorry.
She said one kid is enough.
Yeah, well, but listen, every generation comes and wants to do better than their parents did. Every generation. But I'm sorry, if you only want to work 4 hours, it's going to be harder for you to get a house.
Fuck you, Whoopi.
Oh, and don't mention 4 days.
I feel for everybody that feels this, but I'm sorry. We busted our behinds. We had to bust our behinds because we didn't have the option of going back.
Y'all gave us the housing crisis, though.
We didn't have a housing crisis, but...
No, it's true. But the one thing I'd say is millennials are statistically the first generation that's likely to do worse off than their parents.
You know what? That's what they said to us as well. Every
Oh,
generation
shut up,
is
Boomer.
told
That's
you're gonna
not
do
what
worse than
they
your parents.
said.
And you know what? People pick it up and they do what they do and they raise themselves. And this is what you got to do. It's called being a good citizen.
Oh my gosh. How fucking awful is she? Okay, so Whoopi's a boomer. The boomers did do better than the generation before them. I'm a Gen Xer, and my generation, no, it was harder for us to obtain stuff. And the generations below us, the Gen Zers, the millennials, I feel for them because we didn't have chances. They definitely don't have a fucking chance. And this is a bourgeois gated community. Karen Johnson hasn't had to want for anything in 40 fucking years. So nobody else in the world should have to want for either, or they're just lazy. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right? Oh, what a vile human being. And these are the same people who push this Zionist narrative on us. Award for Best Actor for 2023 for playing the victim goes to Israel. Yes, you are the victim. Such the victim, right? Okay, we don't get out of here till we go through Meme Alley. Can't get out of Trailer Park unless you see the memes. Let's see the memes. BlackRock, after successfully outbidding a single mother of 4 in the housing market. Oh my gosh. You guys watch these videos of these abandoned communities that have been bought out by BlackRock and Blackstone and all these other Vanguard groups. It is heartbreaking. They're all over, but the Midwest, like Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, there's whole fucking towns that are sitting empty with brand new houses, nice houses that people could live in. They force the people out. There's a lot of reporting on it. Maybe this week I'll bring you guys some videos of it, to where these people wrote on the walls of their house that was only 10 years old, fuck you, BlackRock. You forced us out. They'll force a whole town out. The government just backs them up for it too. It's disgusting. People asking me if I'm okay. I'm as okay as anyone can be while living deep in the belly of an evil empire surrounded by narcissistic psychopaths who thirst for war and death. Oh, nailed it. That was a nailed it. Yeah. We buy houses. Exactly, Popeye. We buy houses is a scam. Sounds like something a copper wire company. Okay, so it says fiber optic cables do not contain copper. And it says, sounds like something a copper cable would say. No, they're just trying to get the tweakers not to steal the fiber optic cable, because fiber optic, I think, would be worth more than copper, but not to a tweaker. My simulator is thinking about different subjects, so my phone doesn't know which advertisement to show me. Yes, simultaneously thinking about different subjects. Yeah, don't you hate that when you're just thinking about something and then an ad pops up on your phone, your YouTube, your Facebook, doesn't matter. They're reading your mind and we know it. If you know what channel this is, you were bad as hell as a kid. Does anybody know what channel this was? I'm not going to tell. Oz knows. What was it? I'm not going to say. You guys are going to have to tell me. But if you grew up in the 70s and the 80s, there was always a couple of these channels. They were scrambled, if you know what I mean. The old days, back in the old days. Mechanic, unfortunately, you're going to have to rebuild the engine. Oh, God, that's the way I feel. Every time something goes wrong with my car, like, you're just going to have to rebuild it. You're going to have to rebuild the whole thing. But it only has a flat tire. Doesn't matter. Car's not going to run. We got some Simpsons here. Las Vegas Pier reports a $98.4 million losses, says the chief financial officer, and the chief financial officer quits the Spear in 5 years. Yeah, I'm not impressed with that big stupid thing. Slave of the system. There is a reason why traditional education teaches you nothing about financial education. The system is designed to keep you in the same place. Open your eyes, Mr. Burns. Yeah, Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns. He was actually taken after a rich person. I forget who it was. Was it one of the Rockefellers? Maybe. Maybe it was one of the Rothschild. Anyways. Let's see. Impasse be like, get me off this planet. Wait, I forgot I meant to be saving this place, raising the love frequency, and God knows what else. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be an empath right now. I've got friends that are witches, starseeds, Christians, pagans, hippies. I got friends with degrees, with LLCs, and felonies. I've learned from all of them, and that is absolutely true for me. I have learned from, doesn't matter. I learned from everybody. What is this? Oh, I brought this one to point it out. Whoever made this meme is an idiot. So it says, I'm not ashamed of my history. And it has US, Israel, and Britain. And then it says, exactly, that's the problem. You should be. And it's supposed to be Palestine. But the problem is they stuck Palestine over Jerry Seinfeld, a known Zionist and Jew. So right there canceled out the meme. Whoever made this, you did it wrong. What if I told you that every media trend is a psychological operation? I believe you. I absolutely know it. 100%. And let's talk about fruits and veggies. Know your labels. A 4-digit code with 3 or 4 conventionally grown. 5-digit code with 9 is organic. And 5-digit code with 8 is genetically modified. 2 entrepreneurs started a side hustle renting Christmas trees to reduce the number that end up in landfills. Every January, they replant the trees back on their farm so you can rent it again next year. When your tree hits 7 foot, it's retired and planted back in its original forest. That is very cool. Why haven't we been doing that from the very, very get-go? And they make the potted trees so damn expensive. Only the rich can afford to have a potted tree, right? And I live in the Northwest. I could go dig up a tree if I wanted, but that's a cool idea. I really like that somebody has done that for Christmas. And Christmas is here, guys. It's already in all the stores. Alaska doing it right. Alaska pizza boxes. Order a pizza, get a Target. Come on, that's smart. That is smart. When you smell a certain type of alcohol and it reminds you of a time you almost died. Come on. We all have that one. Oh, it's Jose Cuervo for me, man. Ugh. And that was so long ago. I can't even believe. I would like to apologize to the people I called old at 50 when I was 18. Yes. God, I used to think 50 was old. 50 is not old. Congratulations. We're really becoming the people who tell younger folks, I remember when all this was just woods. Oh, I do. God, I was driving down Main Street where I live, and they're putting in a mobile home park, like right on Main Street. I remember when it was just a cow pasture with trees. It makes me so sad. Everywhere is just inhabited now. Okay, last one I think. Let's bring back shop class and show kids how fun it is to build something or to fix something. Yeah, my shop teacher was missing a couple of fingers. Novel idea. How about instead of growing a mustache or facial hair this November, grow a pair of balls and stand up for your rights and the rights of others. You know what that is? They always do the November face hair, right? I don't So I can't even remember what it's called, but yeah, don't grow face hair, grow balls, man. We need more people stepping up and saying enough. I thought this was a cute story to close with, so here we go. Chronicles of Saint Agringus. A white cockatoo named Marvin escaped her cage in Edinburgh in the summer of 2013 and spent time flying around the town, living off of people's bird feeders. Having been poked by a bird. Oh, shit. Am I still here? I think I just got dropped. Did I get dropped? Did I get dropped? I think I got dropped. I did get dropped. Am I back? I don't know. Tell me if I'm back. My internet is bouncing hard. Marvin was a public nuisance, so they netted her, and she kept stealing the spikes from the walls and the rafters, you know, those little pigeon spikes that keep the bird spikes. Well, she just decided to declare war on them. And I'm back. Okay. I'm still here. Oh, it says still here. Still back. And anyway, so they caught her, they netted her, and they confined her to one of these pet carrying cases, and she destroyed it as well and busted out. You are here. Well, we're almost done with the show. I actually reset my internet before I went live today, so I don't know. Joey's Coffee. You can get a hold of Oz and get some Joey's Coffee. I had some Joey's Coffee this weekend. It was amazing. Purple ladybugs found only in Hawaii. Wow, aren't those beautiful? I wonder what makes them purple. Let's ask Pasta. Pasta can go find out for us. Pasta, why are the butter or why are they purple? Find out while you're down there. We got Assange. You guys, right? Assange. We are seeing so much support for Assange, a lot of pushback, and we need more and more and more. We need him trending every day. So Tucker confirms that he has conducted an interview with Julian Assange. When he releases the video on X, it will likely break the internet. I agree with that. And I do think he did interview Assange. We did see him with Stella at Belmarsh. So is he sitting on an interview? I hope so. I would love to see it. You can write Assange. There's his address. Screenshot it. Postcards. You can go to writeassange.com and figure out what you can send, what you can't send, all of that. So you're back. I know. It's been a heck of a day. Join me for Beauty and the Boomer and Oz on Saturday. We're going to have a good time. And like I said, I haven't made a card yet, but Thursday night, Uncensored, Beauty and the Boomer Uncensored. So Thursday night, it'll be on Rokfin, Rumble. Look on our X pages to find it. And I think we are out of here. If you guys want to help me out, here is my PayPal, since, you know, I've been demonetized and shadow banned so much that I'm just a ghost in the damn machine anymore. I don't even exist. Okay, we are out of here. Welcome, tech support. Good to see you. Hi, Jordan. Welcome to the chat. Soxavoxavix is hanging out over on the Rokfin, along with Jim. Hi, Jim. Who else is over here? Kate's over there. Denver's over there. Did I get Denver? Fred Edwards. Death to Tyrants. Good to see you. Gregory Walker. It's always good to see you. Everybody who's joined me on the Rokfin, thank you so much. And the Rumble. Rumble and Rokfin went stronger than YouTube today, and I love it. That means you guys are moving off of the YouTube platform, and that is so important that we do. So, hey, shout out Rumble. Go Start and Quirky and a Dingo Ate Me Baby, and Kurt Boss was hanging out over there. Who else? I got Corky, right? Go Start. Hi, Go Start. I see Go Start. I appreciate everybody who's moving over to Rumble. It's so important because you can't find us on YouTube anymore, and we get slapped around so much. So, and YouTube, Barbara 420 is hanging out there. I need to smoke, man. Today has been a hell of a day. DC, good to see you. Popeye is over there too. Cold Fusion Gaming. Uncle Warren, you guys check out the secret show on Saturday night. Better be checking it out. Oz the Boomer is in here along with Vic and Popeye the Sailor. And who else is over here? Same people talking over and over. Wesley, good to see you. And everybody else who joined me over on the YouTubes. Okay, I will be back Wednesday for my regular Wednesday show. And hopefully it won't be like this morning, man. This morning has just been, I am ready to turn my brain off for a few. I brought us a great closer, and this is an acapella cover. Kate, you're going to like this one. And this also came from Hunger Games. You might recognize it. I want to say it was a Lorde song, but I love it. It's great. It's called Yellow Flicker Beat. And I will join you guys all Wednesday morning. See you then.
I'm a princess cut from marble, smoother than a stone. And the scars that mark my body, they're silver and gold. My blood is a flood of rubies, precious stones. It keeps my veins hot. The fire's found a home in me. I move through town, I'm quiet like a fire. And my necklace is of rope, I tie it and untie it. And now people talk to me, but nothing ever hits stone. People talk to me and all the voices just burn holes. I'm done with it all. This is the start of how it all is. They used to shout my name, now they whisper it. I'm speeding up, and this is the red, orange, yellow flicker beat, sparking up my heart. We're at the start, the colors disappear. I never watch the stars, there's so much down here. So I just try to keep up with them. Red, orange, yellow flicker beats, sparking up my heart. I dream all year, but they're not the sweet kind. And the shivers move down my shoulder blades in double time. And now people talk to me, I'm slipping out of reach now. People talk to me and all the faces blur. But I get my fingers laced together and I made a little prison. And I'm locking up everyone who ever laid a finger on me. I'm done with it all. This is the start of how it all ends. They used to shout my name, now they whisper it. I'm speeding up, and this is the red, orange, yellow flicker beat, sparking up my heart. We're at the start, the colors disappear. I'll never watch the stars, there's so much down here.